It's a weekly show about rAVe with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Steph, how are you?
Good. How are you? You don't look like you're in your normal spot at all.
I know. You know, I'm traveling across the country. I'm driving my daughter back to college, and we're going to end up in San Francisco eventually. We'll talk about that in a minute. But right now, I'm actually in Salt Lake City, and behind me is the giant Mormon temple. It's under reconstruction. I don't know if you can see it, but they're rebuilding the thing. It's beautiful. Like, it's huge. It's the biggest thing. It's so much bigger than it looks like on here. I don't know if you're getting a full screen view of it or not, but they're doing some renovations on it. But I'm literally in downtown Salt Lake City right now. I'm coming to you live.
That is so cool. Well, I mean, I've never been to Salt Lake City, so this is actually a really fun thing for me to be looking at right now. So yeah, so you've been driving across the country. You have had quite the journey. So tell me a little bit about the things that you've seen, the things that you've eaten, what you've done. Like, give me the rundown.
Well, first off, you know, I'm a big roller coaster fan, and I've always wanted to go to the big roller coaster parks. And we went to the Biggie in Ohio. Whatever it's called.
I see the clip.
Cedar Point.
Gary, this literally makes me want to cry to look at. Like, this is bringing tears to my eyes. I'm really scared of heights.
But it's the most intense 17 seconds. And there's a sign right before you get on that says, "Ever something on the parapet." Every once in a while. Back down.
That is, I can't do that. I rode one really bad, or I guess really good, depending on how you look at it, roller coaster at what's the one in North Carolina outside of Charlotte? Carowinds. Yes, it's the one that's based on the Charlotte Hornets. It's like the Buzz 365 or something, and that one has like a almost like straight drop, and like the only thing holding me in was the little bar. So I was convinced I was gonna die. I started like saying my will to my friend who was beside me. I was like, tell my dad I love him, like all this stuff. And like, it was, so I can't ever do that again. Cause I just am convinced I'll be on my deathbed.
This particular park is literally on Lake Erie, literally on the lake. It's on an island. That's 24 roller coasters. All it is a roller coaster park. There's no wimpy rides at this park, but that's just a view of one of them. And then we went to Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about Chicago.
Check this out. Check this video out. Okay. What do you think? What do you think?
All right. Give me 1 second. Ethan's going to throw it up right now. Oh.
Okay, so that is the world's largest Starbucks. That's the lobby. That's the gift shop for the world's largest Starbucks.
That is
had a line. And there's another special mocha, which was handmade, and it was dark chocolate, coconut milk instead of normal milk. The most incredible mocha I've ever had. This was downtown Chicago.
That's so
Interestingly enough, they replaced the Crate and Barrel, the entire Crate and Barrel store with the world's largest Starbucks. Which, you know, you'd think the world's largest Starbucks would be their headquarters is in Seattle, but it's actually in Chicago.
That's so funny. That's cool.
Yesterday, check out what I saw yesterday. Maybe you've seen this already, Steph.
Okay.
Check out what I saw yesterday. Can you see that?
Give me 1 more minute.
Ethan's hanging in there, kind of rushing through things here.
I know. He's trying to keep up.
He's doing a great job.
What did to give me a hint of what you saw yesterday?
So yesterday I went to Salt Lake. We're in Salt Lake City. Went to Salt Lake yesterday.
Okay, Salt Lake.
We're driving through the park where the actual Salt Lake is, and there's a giant bison just kind of hanging out on the side of the road.
Oh, I see this. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
The park is amazing. It's just beautiful.
Oh, there's the bison.
6 Mile Island that's just around it. It's just beautiful. The actual Salt Lake is is significantly salter than the ocean. And in fact, it's so salty, Steph, that I waded out in the water to about waist deep and then just laid down and floated on the top of the water.
Oh my gosh.
It was a kind of a euphoric feeling.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Yeah, and you can see from the views how beautiful it is. It's just
no, that's gorgeous. All right, tell me what else. What else do you have to show me?
I mean, I think that's it. I'm trying to think if I don't have anything else queued up to kind of tell you, but I mean,
that's okay.
We're going to go from here today to Reno. We're going to gamble a little bit, and then we're going to head to San Francisco.
We're looking at the sunset now. The sunset is beautiful.
Oh, so that's a time lapse I shot of the sunset yesterday. That time lapse was about 1 minute, but the sunset took about 5 minutes. That's literally on Salt Lake. So
that's gorgeous. Yes. So tell me about the purpose of this fun road trip you're taking.
Two purposes. I'm taking my daughter back to college. She goes to college in California. And she and I are both racing, along with Emily, by the way, racing Escape from Alcatraz triathlon. I did send Ethan a map of the triathlon because some people had asked me about it a couple weeks ago. So you swim from Alcatraz to close to the Golden Gate Bridge. So it's about 1.5 mile swim. Then you bike 18 miles all around San Francisco, and then it's an 8-mile run, a little bit longer than 8 miles.
Oh yeah. I see the map.
And you get to go all over the area of San Francisco. That's where the Presidio is, which is where Lucasfilm is. You know, of course, I'm a big Star Wars fan. But also, you know, that area is all on the water. So you're seeing the Pacific Ocean, and you're also seeing San Francisco Bay. When we swim in the water's supposed to be this year a little bit warmer because the race is normally in June, and it's an August move from COVID. The water's going to be a warm 58 to 60 degrees this time. So normally it's 55 degrees. So I'm looking forward to that additional 3 degrees.
Yes, I'm sure that'll make all the difference. Well, so good for you. That is crazy. I've been talking to my a few friends and stuff that you're doing this, and they're all like, "So your boss is like crazy, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
pretty much
he is."
But you know, a week in the car with your daughter, you're ready to get her to college. I will say that. But we've had a great time, and we're gonna have a great time racing together. And she'll of course beat me. She's a college swimmer, so she'll be way ahead of me. But I'm still gonna enjoy it.
Yes, no, that just sounds so fun. That's like a great father-daughter bonding thing that you guys are doing. So kudos. That's awesome. Okay, so we have like a few launch events coming up that I wanted to bring up. So August 17th, I think at 2 p.m., you are doing the branding of me as a launch and learn, which is really cool. We talked about this last week, but I wanted to bring it up again. This is a class at UNC that I took, but it is actually so useful for everyone in every industry, not just AV, not just college students, anyone who is really looking to figure out how to brand themselves or market themselves to be able to do what they want, move into the job they want, get the job they want, change industries, like anything like that. This is a really fantastic course for them to take. So I did want to bring it up and encourage people to sign up for it because it's free, it's fun, it's literally you in your element. Like this is your bread and butter, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love teaching that class. I mean, of course, to take a whole semester and put it into 1 hour in this workshop is impossible. So we're going to do multiple days. But the first day will be the 17th. And a lot of this will be about sort of like things you need to watch out for your personal brand, things that you can do to improve your personal brand, ways that you can participate online a little bit easier and better. Things like that, but it'll be short, only 1 hour. I hope that people will join me, and it's free.
Yeah, for sure. So second one I wanted to bring up really quick, there is also a launch and learn coming up with ScreenBeam, which is exciting. So that one is going to be September 16th, and that one is actually at 1 p.m. So a little bit about that. It's all about how to make hybrid meetings work for your organization. Like hybrid meetings, we can't keep ignoring them. They're a thing. They're going to be a thing for like the next forever. So this is a chance for you, your company, your manufacturer, anybody who's trying to make this figure out how to make this work for their organization, how to market this. This is how the ScreenBeam conference can help make that a reality. September 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And you can sign up for both of these launch and learns at launch.com. You just create a little account if you don't have one already. And then it's very easy, and you just sign up and you get your email registration, just very, very easy. And we hope to see you there.
Please.
So let's talk about a little announcement that you and I have this week, Gary.
Yeah.
So
we're excited to add a second sponsor.
Yes, we are.
Legrand as a sponsor of rAVe TV, and we now have our second sponsor. Drum roll, please.
Yes. It's Shure. You can see I'm wearing my Shure headphones.
You look nice,
but
Steph.
they're really great. I really like these. These are comfy. Like I've talked a lot of trash about how I don't like most over-ear headphones because they hurt my huge head. But these actually don't hurt my head. These are actually really great. So I did want to thank them for sending them over, and I can't wait to use them for the rest of the rAVe TV episodes. But yeah, we're very grateful.
We'll be switching to Shure mics and headphones and everything gear, and we're excited to have them as a sponsor. But we've loved having Legrand as a sponsor, and they're going to continue being a sponsor.
They are.
In fact, I think we have a message from Legrand, don't we?
We do. We're going to show a quick spot from our partner Legrand, and we'll be right back. Well, actually, we'll be right here, but yeah. Okay, so I mean, they've been a fantastic partner so far, and I'm looking forward to all the rest of the stuff that we're going to do with them and all of the stuff that Shure is going to incorporate. So we've got a great couple of partners, and I'm very happy that they're the ones who are partnering with us for rAVe TV.
Yeah, and in the case of Legrand, they have, they're a glue company. They make everything. Everyone uses Legrand, and Shure is, there are two major leading audio companies. One of the two is Shure, and so we're really excited to have them aboard. And they are leading the way with beamforming microarray systems in both higher education and in corporate collaborations spaces because of the ceiling tile, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about as we go through this. But we're excited to have Shure aboard
for sure. So let's get into the news. Let's
do it. I'm gonna move around as we're getting in the news because that's the way it works when you're traveling.
Yes, it is. So first of all, let's talk about the latest episode of Study with Steph that I posted this week. This is probably one of the best episodes that I've posted, and it is because it is on Ohm's Law. Like, it is an entire episode basically on how to figure out and calculate all of the Ohm's Law calculations on the CTS exam. Jim Maltese hopped on with me for this one, and he was fantastic. He is just one of those people who is so good at being a patient and engaging teacher. So he was really, really great. So I've gotten really good feedback from the episode so far. People seemed really, really happy about it. And I got someone tweeted at me. This guy Billy tweeted at me the other day to tell me that he took the CTS test and passed it, and he was like, "Thank you so much. Like, your episode on video systems really helped me study." So I just thought that was so nice.
Doesn't that make you feel good? And now your job is to pass the test, but you can't pass the test without knowing Ohm's Law. So what do you think? Do you know it? You get it? You understand stuff?
Yeah, by the end, ask Jim Maltese. I was calculating them with the best of them by the end. He was like, "You're going to kill it." He was like, the math stuff, like, you're not going to have any problems. So the rest of it, we'll see. But Ohm's Law, like, I know her now. I got it. I ain't worried about it.
All you have to do is go to the Google, google.com.
Yes, Google.
Type in study with Steph, and you'll find it. Or you can go to ravepubs.com and look for Study with Steph. Type in Study with Steph. Under
rAVe Radio. Yep, it'll be there.
Under rAVe Radio. There you go.
Yep, right, so you are welcome. Thank you. I'm excited. I'm feeling more confident by the day that I can pass this thing. But we'll see come October. I hope so. So next up, Gary, let's talk about SynodCon. So SynodCon released a new online training course, and this is for speech intelligibility, which is something that has become even more important in our industry than ever before. So tell me a little bit about SynodCon.
So they are the leading organization for more than 3 decades in teaching everything that you need to know about audio. They know everything about audio and video and audio and film. They know everything on audio and live events as well as in permanent installations. And of course, hearing somebody is one thing, but understanding what they're saying is another. So just amplifying audio is not the solution,
right?
As I'm sure any audio company would tell you. And they have a class specifically designed for speech intelligibility because of the fact that we're now so connected through virtual conversations rather than in-person conversations. And that, the fact that we're going to have rooms where people are going to be videoing in and audioing into those rooms forever now, we're going to need to build systems that are not both use the right electronics, but also the right acoustics for the room. And this is the class for that.
Yeah, no, and it's approved for both renewal units and CDS-CEU. So if you need either of those, I think this would be a fantastic course for anyone to take who wants to learn more about this. And it's the future. So I highly recommend it. And I've heard nothing but good things about SynodCon. So yeah.
So do you see the tourists in the background just kind of hanging out over here? Do you see them behind me?
Wait, yes.
They're like looking at me like, what the heck is this guy doing? There's another church that's
wave at them. Tell them hi. Ask them if they want to be on rAVe TV.
Yeah,
do a little man on the street.
Do you see that little church behind me there?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. There's churches all over Salt Lake City. But
go in there and ask them if they need some AV solutions. If they need any suggestions. Anyways, next up, so Paul Konikowski, I've talked about his articles before plenty of times, but his latest in his Securing AV series is a part 2 in his Colonial Pipeline ransomware cyber attack. So in the first part that I talked about a few weeks ago, he wrote about exactly what happened with the Colonial Pipeline and what happened to make them shut off the gas line, why everyone in North Carolina was freaking out and couldn't find gas for a few weeks. But in this article, he breaks it down and looks at it from the actual hacker standpoint. So what could have possibly motivated a hacker or a group of cyber attackers to want to do this. So he kind of jumps into the hacker brain a little bit and talks about the different motivations for doing that and why someone works so hard to be a hacker, what the common motivations are. And I'll give you a hint. Most of the motivations behind hacking are the motivations behind everything else on the planet, and that is money. But there are a few other ones. There are hackers who do it because they think that for social justice reasons. There are a bunch, and he goes through it. So if you've ever wanted to kind of get in the brain of a hacker and be why, what's going on? Why would they do this? Why do they work so hard to just shut down gas pipes? For what? This is a good article for you. It's not very long, but it's a good read. So highly recommend it. Good. Next up, PPDS. They signed 3 new partnerships to add to their personalization to Philips hotel TVs. I'm not going to lie, I put this on here because I was ooh, hotel travel makes me think of traveling again. That's nice. So
what they've done is they've got new partners that they have chip on board technology inside their display. So that gives them the ability to put embedded media players, content players, and other software services. And they built a whole software with 3 other partners. They built a software suite specifically aimed at hotels that do everything from recognize who the guest is. But I mean, you know how when you go to a hotel right now, Steph, you can hit the Netflix button and go to Netflix and log yourself into your Netflix. So what Philips has done is taken it one step further. When you check into your hotel room, or let's say you're a Marriott member, you could go ahead and put in your Hulu account, your Netflix account, your Disney Plus account into your Marriott account. When you check in the room, those
nice.
Applications are automatically logged in for you. So that's an example of making the experience better for the customer. And Philips has got that hospitality group really doing well.
Yeah, well, I am one of those people who never remembers my passwords to anything. So all of my friends have logins to my stuff. And when I need to log into my own Hulu account, I have to ask my best friend what my password is. So
that happens sometimes. I've forgotten my password, and then I email it to myself and realize it's an email I don't use anymore. So
yes, it's always rough. So any chance or opportunity that I have to log in fewer times. So if I have it hooked up to that account already, beautiful. That's what I love to see. So I'm very impressed with them for this.
Good.
So next up, let's talk about another partnership. So BrightSign and Rockbot, they have a partnership that's going into airport entertainment and news content. So I think that this is kind of like they're pushing beyond just like music, because I think Rockbot is normally like a music kind of company, but they're working on like news and special deliveries into TVs and digital signage and airports. So I think that this is just kind of like a special news situation that's like only broadcasted in airports. So it's basically like an airport only CNN, if I'm understanding it right. But
well, if you do work for airports or I should say transportation facilities,
yeah,
what's happening here is that BrightSign's basically staking a claim, saying, look, you should use our media players because we have all the integrated partnerships you need, rather than using some of the other partners that are out there. Because a lot of the companies that are being used in transportation facilities, especially airports, are legacy companies. Like they're distributing it the way they used to distribute it from some head in. And now you can do, distributed content where you put the content player behind the TV or behind the monitor, or even integrated in the monitor if you have a chip on board technology.
Right.
So I think they're just staking the claim that, hey, we want to get in the airport market as well. We're not just for retail and corporate.
Yeah. And by the way, we're a partner with this company who does the news for you, so you don't have to partner with anyone else. We're a one-stop shop. Like, yep. Yes, totally understand that. Yep. But hey, good for them. BrightSign's a great company. Yep. So next up, this is another Mark Coxon article, and I just thought it was so funny. And he calls it Godzilla versus Kong, and he's like, it's the battle of the AV monoliths. And he talks about all of the latest like acquisition, merger news that's been happening. He talks about how Diversified just bought HB Communications, and how in 2019, AVI, SBL, and Whitlock became one. And he just talks about how it's like a madhouse, all of the acquisitions that have been happening lately, and kind of talks about whether it's a good thing for our industry, whether it's a bad thing for our industry, like what it means for like greater trends and all of that. So it's nice to like, talk about the hard news, but it's nice to have someone like Mark who comes in and talks about like what this news means and relates it to like the greater trends in the industry.
Yeah, and by the way, there's a leaf blower. There's a guy with a leaf blower over there.
Yes, I can hear it. It's okay. I was yelling. Yeah, it's fine. I can just yell over it.
From the leaf blower, run away from the leaf blower. But yeah, so the truth of the matter is, he's following me. Oh my gosh. The truth of the matter is, in 10 years from today, there's probably only going to be a half a dozen to a dozen big integrators that control 90% of our business. And that's not, let's be honest. This is what's happened with every industry, right?
Yeah.
Even consumer electronics. Everyone goes to Best Buy, and there's a few other companies out there, Amazon. It's not like you have 40 retailers to choose from anymore. Back when I was a kid, you did, but now you don't. So the same things happen with our industry. More consolidation. You're going to see more integrator consolidation over the next couple of years, and you're going to see more manufacturer consolidation as well. It's just a normal process we go through.
That's true. But do you think that it's kind of like a circle of life type thing where like, yeah, there are a bunch and then most of them get bought out and then there are a few, but I almost see it as eventually, like maybe not in the next 20 years, but eventually people will break off again and then there will be smaller ones again and the cycle will restart.
You're exactly right. It's always cyclical. Plus there's a great opportunity. If you're an individual person and you want to start a company, there's so many opportunities in our market to start companies right now with the growth of digital signage,
exactly,
the growth of the return of live events, the growth of the UCC market, and of course, AV immersive experiences in advertising. Think about all the opportunities, as you know, Steph, in the advertising world for AV. The market's not going to get smaller. Just because we're consolidated doesn't mean the market's getting smaller. The market's getting bigger.
So the most advice I would give to someone is like try to be big in that one vertical or that one market or that one solution center. Yes. And become perfect in that one thing and you will, you'll make a lot of money and get really big. So that's my advice that's unsolicited and I don't have a business degree, but that's what I think.
There you go.
But I wanted to end us on my case study of the week. I think this is a really cool one. So this is Sony Music Entertainment specifically helped produce a digital like Madison Beer like virtual concert thing, because as Gary said, live events are coming back, but I think a lot of celebrities and musicians are still doing a lot of virtual concerts, which is cool. And I hope that those stick around because it gives people more of an opportunity to go who couldn't. But Madison Beer, she's big with the kids these days.
Aren't you one of those kids, Steph? I mean, don't you know who Madison Beer is?
Yeah, I know who she is. But she's like with the youths. The youths like her. She's like a teeny bopper.
Okay.
I'm making myself sound 75 years old. That's fine. But she's like a pop star. So I just thought this was really cool because, you know, it's not always like huge pop stars that you hear about in our industry. So I thought it was really cool. And like there was like an immersive reality concert experience. There was it like promoted on TikTok Live. So like this was just like another opportunity or another like situation where AV is really reaching out and trying to get that younger demographic interested in just the craziest of ways. So I think that that's really cool. And I think like immersive, like virtual reality concert experiences are the future. And I think that it's really neat that Sony was a part of it.
I'm just glad that events are coming back, and they're coming back. It's just good. It's a little slower than we all wanted because of
for sure.
But they're coming back. They're coming back. We'll talk more about events because we have events coming up over the next couple of months. We'll talk more about those starting next week. We'll give you some more details about what we're going to do specifically around InfoComm. But
we're going to trade shows again.
Yay! In the meantime, Steph, hey, thanks for doing this show, and thanks for holding down the fort in the studio, in the office. I think you're in the office. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like you're in the office.
Yes, I'm in the office. Yes. It was good to see you, Gary. I'm glad that you are having a good time, and good luck in your race.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And, everyone, thanks for watching rAVe TV. Of course, we come to you live on Twitter. We come to you live on LinkedIn. And we come to you live on ravepubs.com.
Yep.
Don't forget to join us every Wednesday at noon Eastern. We will see you in 1 week from now.
Yep. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.